Welcome, dear viewers, to another insightful journey into the depths of the human mind. Friedrich Nietzsche. Chapter 1. Early Life. Friedrich Wilhelm Nietzsche, born on October 15, 1844 in Rocken, Prussia, endured a childhood marked by profound tragedy. The untimely deaths of his father and younger brother cast a long, somber shadow over his formative years. Raised by his mother and grandmother in Naumburg, Nietzsche was instilled with Lutheran piety and morality. Despite financial struggles, Nietzsche's family provided a supportive environment during his formative years, fostering close relationships with his mother and sister. Chapter 2. Studies. Nietzsche pursued studies in classical philology, immersing himself in ancient Greek and Roman texts, the philosophical ideas of renowned thinkers like Plato and Aristotle, exploring ethics, metaphysics, and human nature, alongside the profound reflections on the human condition and emotions by ancient poets and playwrights such as Homer, Sophocles, and Euripides, deeply influenced Nietzsche's own perspective. In addition, Nietzsche encountered the works of Arthur Schopenhauer and Friedrich Albert Lang, too. Schopenhauer's pessimistic view of existence and emphasis on the primacy of will left a lasting impression on Nietzsche, as did Lang's advocacy for empiricism and materialism. Nietzsche also cultivated a deep appreciation for music and literature. He found inspiration in the works of composers like Richard Wagner, whose romantic operas and artistic vision and the themes of passion, heroism, and transcendence explored in his music would leave a lasting impression on Nietzsche's outlook. Similarly, Nietzsche drew inspiration from the literary works of figures such as Johann Wolfgang von Goethe and Friedrich Schiller, whose writings explored themes of individualism, freedom, and the pursuit of excellence. Chapter 3. Friedrich's personal life and friendships. Nietzsche did form deep and meaningful connections with a select group of friends and acquaintances throughout his life. One of his closest friends was Paul Rie, a fellow philosopher and writer with whom Nietzsche shared a deep intellectual kinship. Another significant figure in Nietzsche's social circle was Peter Gast, a composer and musician who shared Nietzsche's appreciation for art and culture. And of course, we can't forget about Richard Wagner, whose artistic talent and philosophical ideas resonated with Nietzsche. But perhaps the relationship that marked Nietzsche the most throughout his life was his infatuation with Andreas-Salome, a Russian-born intellectual and writer whom Nietzsche met in the early 1880s. Lou captivated Nietzsche with her intelligence, independence, and unconventional views on love and sexuality. Despite Nietzsche's deep feelings for her, their relationship remained largely platonic, and Lou ultimately rejected his romantic advances. Chapter 4. Philosophical Foundations. Nietzsche's philosophy is a complex tapestry of ideas that center around the rejection of traditional morality and the embrace of individualism. His philosophy is a revolt against conformity, a call to rise above societal constructs, and a challenge to create one's own values. Here are some of the most important concepts in Nietzsche's philosophy. 1. The will to power. The concept of the will to power is central to Nietzsche's philosophy. It refers to the driving force underlying all human actions and the pursuit of self-overcoming. Nietzsche saw the will to power as a fundamental aspect of human nature, manifesting in the desire for dominance, creativity, and self-affirmation. 2. Ubermensch, Overman or Superman. One of Nietzsche's most profound concepts is the Ubermensch. This is not a superhuman in the comic book sense, but rather an idealized individual who transcends societal and moral conventions to create their own values. This figure embraces a life-affirming attitude and represents a rejection of herd mentality and a call for individuals to rise above conventional morality. The Ubermensch is not bound by societal constraints, but is instead a creator of new values, a beacon of individualism who dances to their own rhythm. This vision of a self-determined individual laid the groundwork for existentialist thinkers who followed Nietzsche. Notable figures such as Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus drew inspiration from this concept, further exploring the themes of individualism and personal freedom in their works. 3. Eternal recurrence. This concept suggests that life is an infinite cycle of repetitions, a ceaseless loop of events, and the universe and our lives are eternally recurring in an infinite cycle. Nietzsche used this idea to challenge individuals to live their lives as if they would have to relive them over and over again, encouraging a profound engagement with the present moment, with every action carrying the weight of eternal repetition. It's a call to live meaningfully, to live authentically, to live as if every moment counts because, in the grand cycle of eternal recurrence, it does. 4. Perspectivism. Nietzsche rejected the notion of objective truth and championed perspectivism. According to this concept, truth is not universal, but is shaped by individual perspectives. He argued that different interpretations of reality exist, and that our understanding is always influenced by our subjective viewpoints. 5. Master-slave morality. Nietzsche distinguished between master morality and slave morality. Master morality is characterized by values such as strength, power, and nobility, while slave morality is rooted in values like humility, meekness, and compassion. Nietzsche critiqued the dominance of slave morality in modern society, arguing for a re-evaluation of values. 6. Dionysian versus Apollonian. Nietzsche explored the interplay of two artistic and cultural forces, the Dionysian and the Apollonian. The Dionysian represents chaos, intoxication, and primal instincts, while the Apollonian symbolizes order, reason, and beauty. Nietzsche believed that the tension between these forces gave rise to great artistic achievements. 7. Critique of religion. Nietzsche was a vocal critic of organized religion, particularly Christianity. He argued that traditional religious values inhibited human flourishing by promoting passive acceptance and otherworldly aspirations. The famous proclamation, "God is dead," encapsulates his assertion that traditional religious beliefs no longer hold sway in the modern world. 8. Amor Fati, love of fate. Amor Fati expresses Nietzsche's idea of embracing one's fate and affirming life in all its aspects, including the hardships and challenges. It involves accepting and loving every moment of one's existence, even the difficult or painful ones. Nietzsche's philosophical foundations continue to challenge and inspire, encouraging individuals to rise above societal constraints and live authentically, and urging us to question, to defy, and ultimately, to be true to ourselves. Chapter 5. Influence on psychology. Nietzsche's philosophical ideas found resonance in the realm of psychology. Sigmund Freud was greatly inspired by Nietzsche's exploration of the unconscious mind. Nietzsche proposed that beneath our conscious selves lay a reservoir of primal instincts, desires, and fears that he referred to as the Dionysian aspect of our nature. This bold assertion resonated with Freud, who further developed the concept into his theory of the unconscious mind. Freud's famous tripartite model of the psyche, consisting of the id, ego, and superego, can be seen as a further elaboration of Nietzsche's Dionysian-Apollonian dichotomy. While Freud was delving into the depths of the unconscious, Carl Jung's fascination with Nietzsche's philosophy led him to the concept of individuation, the journey of becoming one's true self. Nietzsche's emphasis on the individual's responsibility to create their own values and to live authentically resonated with Jung's own theories. The archetype of the hero's journey in Jungian psychology, which charts the individual's path toward self-discovery and personal transformation, reflects Nietzschean themes of personal transformation and the pursuit of one's unique destiny. But it's not just Freud and Jung who were influenced by Nietzsche's groundbreaking ideas. Today, his insights into the human psyche continue to influence a wide range of fields from psychoanalysis to existential therapy. His ideas have given psychologists and therapists new ways to understand and help people navigate the complexities of human existence. Chapter 6. Nietzsche's later years, illness, and final days. Nietzsche's health began to decline in the late 1880s. He suffered from severe migraines, digestive issues, and vision problems, which severely impacted his ability to work and engage in social activities. Despite his deteriorating health, Nietzsche continued to write prolifically, producing some of his most influential works during this period, including Beyond Good and Evil and The Genealogy of Morals. However, Nietzsche's mental health also began to deteriorate. In 1889, while living in Turin, Italy, Nietzsche experienced a sudden mental breakdown that would irrevocably alter the course of his life. Witnesses reported seeing him collapse in the street, weeping and embracing a horse that was being whipped by its owner. Following this incident, Nietzsche's mental state rapidly deteriorated, leading to periods of delusion, hallucination, and psychosis. In the aftermath of his breakdown, Nietzsche's sister, Elizabeth Forster-Nietzsche, assumed control of his affairs and relocated him to her home in Weimar, Germany. Nietzsche's condition continued to worsen, and he spent the remaining years of his life in a state of profound mental and physical decline. He was largely incapacitated, unable to care for himself or engage in meaningful communication with others. During this time, Nietzsche's writings took on a more fragmented and aphoristic style, reflecting the disintegration of his mental faculties. He continued to dictate sporadic thoughts and reflections to Elizabeth, who compiled and edited them for publication. He passed away on August 25, 1900, at the age of 55, having succumbed to complications from a stroke. Chapter 7. Legacy and Conclusion. Friedrich Nietzsche left an indelible impact on the world. His philosophical ideas, initially met with controversy, have become cornerstones in existential thought, shaping the way we perceive life, morality, and the essence of our existence. His influence permeates various fields, from literary criticism to political theory and psychology. His ideas continue to provoke, challenge, and inspire, echoing in the works of thinkers, writers, and artists around the world, and have become essential in understanding existential thought and shaping modern discourse.